Okay, great. Good morning, everybody. Hi, nice to see you all. So today we're going to look at the turning points within the exercises, and we're going to do some work on the hands. So to start with, let's stretch our wrists, put the backs of our hands together, and then keeping your wrists together, bring your arms down. And somewhere along there, you should feel the stretch on the this part of your wrist. I don't know if that's the front or the back at the moment. While we're doing this, let's check our shoulders are relaxed and down our back, and our rib cage is lifted. Oh, that feels really nice. Okay, and then take one palm and pull the fingers down, so you should get a nice stretch along the wrist, the palm area. Again, check your shoulders aren't coming up as you do this. Allow your shoulders to drop down the back, and then the other side. And again, shoulders dropping down the back, rib cage lifted. And then let's go ahead and do some of the fingers. I often do this one, I like it. Stretching one finger down at a time. And the other side. We'll come back to the thumb in a minute. Okay, then the thumbs, take on your thumb, just move it around. Try and move it around without moving your wrist. So wrist stays still, and you move the thumb. Good, and then the other side. And then go back to your fingers. Let's do two at a time. Shoulders down, rib cage lifted at the back, creating space at the back of your neck, the back of your ribs as you're doing this. It's very tempting to bring a shoulder up when you're doing this. Okay, good. And then standing up, taking our right hand, pointing to a spot on the floor in front of our right foot, feeling the length of the arm in a nice line. Remember, we don't have to force the line. It's like our arm likes being in that line. We're reaching through our fingertips, and imagine we can touch the floor, and we're brushing our fingertips along the floor, along the wall, up to the ceiling. And remember, you might get that lovely sensation of your arm floating up, or you might get the sensation of tingling in your fingers, or your arm feeling very heavy. All of those things are good. It's a different way of engaging with the movement. And let's go out to the side. Keeping your feet rooted to the ground, shoulders down. Arm moves, fingers are drawn out, and shoulder stays down. Very nice. Letting go there. Other side, left hand pointing to a spot on the floor in front of your left foot. Enjoy that feeling of your arm laying in a line. It's like you don't have to use any muscles to do it. And brush your fingertips along the floor, the wall, the ceiling. Or you can imagine that you're going beyond the floor, the wall, the ceiling. And really reach to your star. Really reach to the blue skies. Reach to infinity as we come down. Reach down to the earth. Out to the side. Keeping your body upright so you're not leaning as you go. And letting go. Good. Remember the honey pot exercise that we've done before. We imagine that we're standing up to our breastbone in a pot of honey. And it's like a warm vat of honey and it's all around us. So the space below our breastbone is thick and warm and gooey. And we're going to move our arm through that space. So we'll start with our right arm. And we're going to move our right arm up. And you can feel the honey around your fingers, around your arm, moving underneath your palm as you bring your arm up. And then we're just going to lay our arm on that thick, rich surface. And then you can feel that tension as you try and pick your arm off. There's this kind of sucking down to this warm honey. And we're going to pop out of the surface and go up. It feels lighter and easier and brighter. You might have honey running down your arm. That's okay. Might be a bit sticky. And then as we come down, we feel the warmth of that space again. Lay our arm on that honey, that thick, warm honey, and then push your arm down through it. And it takes a bit of effort here because there is resistance. Feel the honey moving through your fingers. Feel the warmth around the palm of your hand, or wrist, or forearm. Good. And letting go. And we'll do the exact same on the other side. So standing in our warm honey pot, reaching our left arm away from us. Feel the gooey richness envelop your fingers, roll over your top of your hand, the top of your wrist. And then you come to lay your arm on the surface. You're going to have to pop out of it and then pull your arm up. And then it's lighter, brighter up here, reaching up to the heavens. Honey running down your arm. Coming back down, start to feel the warmth of that space around the height of your breastbone. Rest your arm on it. Feel the warmth and press your arm through. So we're creating, with our imagination, a thick space around us. Okay, taking your right palm down. You're going to bring your left hand across your right palm so that your left hand turns your right palm. And then we'll do the same the other way. So it's the left hand comes across to turn that palm. And we just keep going. So it's like the space around the palm moves that palm. So the space is being held by our left hand here. The left hand moves, the space moves, then your right hand is turned. It's like you almost have to do nothing. It comes back the other way, and we turn. We turn. And I remember doing this with Kevin, and he said either you could like push the space in front of you, or you could move the space and trailing behind that space is what turns your hand. So there's some lovely little experiments you can do. Does the hand push the space and your right hand turns quickly? Or does the space get moved like in the wake of an aeroplane? Does your hand get turned? So there's different ways we can experiment. Let's go to the other side. So left hand, palm down, right hand comes across and is the force that moves that hand. You have that lovely sense that it's almost that you do nothing with your left hand. It is turned by the space around you. Okay, good. And now we're going to turn our hands independently. without having another outside force to turn them, but we're going to imagine that outside force. And we're going to turn on our middle finger. So the turn happens on our middle finger. And we're going to practice that a few times, turning our palms with the rotation point being the middle finger. Okay, and then we're going to turn our hands with the rotation point being the index finger. So kind of looks like this. So it's just a different gesture than turning our hands from the middle finger. Go back to middle finger turning and index finger turning. Index finger turning, middle finger turning. And now we're going to rotate our hands on the little finger. So the little finger is the rotation point. So little finger is the rotation point, the hands turn around the little finger. Go back to index finger, pointer. Maybe go back to the middle finger, index finger, little finger. So it's very subtle, but they're like very different gestures. This is more come up, and this is more kind of opening or welcome. And then we have the one in the middle, kind of a neutral one. Okay, let's put that into our opening exercise. And we're going to do, let's do the opening exercise 3 times. And we're going to experiment. First time, we turn then from the middle of our finger, the middle finger, then the index finger, then the little finger. Okay. Fingertips reaching down, hands in our honey pot. And be conscious of your turn from the middle finger, all the way up to the top. Middle finger rotates round. Sorry, we rotate round the middle finger. Okay. Second time. Let's rotate round the index finger, the pointer. And this time we'll rotate round the little finger. And then once more, we're just going to go straight from our arms to horizontal all the way up to vertical and turning in whatever combination feels right for you. And again. Straight the way up to vertical. And one more time. You can almost do a combination so that you're turning index and little finger. Or middle finger turn index finger. So let's go one more. One more. Good. Okay. Let's take a look at the balance exercise. So, swinging our arms in and exaggerate this pause moment. Swinging our arms out and exaggerate that periphery moment. Swinging in, exaggerate, pause, 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 and letting go. Pause, 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 pause. And as we swing out here, you can imagine something traveling along your arm and out and down through the periphery. It takes a long time to get to the periphery, and then it comes back in, and that initiates your swing in. So something traveling down your arm all the way to the periphery, it comes all the way back and starts that swing. It's like there's this timeless moment here. And then here, this pause. Like Charlie said the other week, it's when you throw the ball up in the air and there's that pause moment before it comes down again. Pause. Okay, let's take this into our balance exercise. I'm just going to adjust my camera, so please excuse me. Okay, the balance exercise. Swinging, pause, swing up. Feel that lovely turn of your palms at the top. Swinging, pause, swing all the way up, turn our palms at the top. Come to the periphery, feel that extension down each arm, and you jump in. Use that space underneath you. I love this moment in the exercise at the top. Right up here, palms are together, and then they turn to come down. Let's do one more. And close. Good. So with your arms out at horizontal, imagine this big turn coming all the way from the periphery. It comes up your arm turns forward, so it's your fingers, your palm, your wrists, your lower arm, your upper arm. And this is the lion exercise. And let's imagine that this turn doesn't just start here, it starts from all the way into infinity, all the way at the periphery, and it comes up your arm and turns, 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 turns. Let's try the other hand. So it turns, 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 it comes towards you, comes towards you, comes towards you, comes towards you, and it gets to the middle and it can't go anywhere. So this is when you bend forward. So let's have that lovely turn coming up our arm towards our body, turn, 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 turn. And then of course let's do the lion exercise. And again, feel that lovely turn coming from infinity all the way towards your center. Turning, 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 turning. And finishing here. Okay, and then the other term that we come to in our exercises is in the vortex, and the vortex spirals from the centre down your arm and all the way out along your arm to periphery. So the spiral, with our imagination, is going the other way. It's starting from our centre as we come to here, and it's going further and further along our arm, out of our arm, and off to infinity. And we indicate this with smaller, smaller, smaller circles until it's gone. So with our arms here, it's like this spiral, 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 and then it disappears off to stillness. So let's put that in our vortex exercise. Oops. Sorry, I wasn't in the right place. My ceiling's quite short, and if I get to the wrong place, I hit the ceiling. Feel that spiral leaving you, leaving you, leaving you, leaving you, and disappearing on. And another one. Going away, going away, going away, off into infinity. One more. I'm just going to turn slightly. Good, and then we can put those two together. So we'll do the lion and then straight into the vortex. So we'll feel this spiral coming in, we'll do the lion, and then we'll feel this spiral going away. So starting with the lion exercise, stepping out. Feel that spiral coming along the arms. Head bows, body bends. Lifting up. And from here, we open out and go straight into our vortex. We'll go straight into our line. Spiral up. And compress that space in front of you. Feel that spiral going off to infinity. Might have done it a bit quick last time, because then you feel that spiral coming back up your arms. It's a slightly different expression of a spiral. It's a bit more solid, that lion. The vortex moves away, goes off to infinity, the stillness, and from that stillness place comes that turn of the line, all the way to your center. Feel that movement off to the periphery, and then it comes back. Couple more. Oops, I've got lost. Sorry, I'm just doing another line here. Stop distracting myself. Okay, last one. Last vortex. Good. So the hands and the turning points. Maybe today you can go throughout your day looking at how you use your hands. When you reach for that glass of water, when you reach for the fridge door, when you reach to turn on your tap, our hands are so intricate and beautiful, and they are the most creative part of us. Everything we've made in the world, we started making with our hands. So we can really appreciate our hands today. And Kevin, he's got this lovely air high five. So Kevin, let's give us all a high five, yeah!